Grumpiness to me means that they're busy. They have a lot going on. They probably just got off the phone with somebody that was very abusive. Um, they were probably trying to tell them things that they don't want to hear that are true. Um, and then they talk to you, and you're not listening to what they have to say, and you're not giving them a chance to explain the process. Um, so there's a lot of things that can go into grumpiness. The call center is very busy. Um, People are taking, about 100 calls a day. I know at some standard insurance, they have 45-minute wait times. Claim handlers are responsible for taking phone calls from the pool line, that's from the general public, as well as doing their own work, as well as going to meetings where they discuss a whole blackboard of metrics, and you get to explain why your metrics aren't up to everybody else's efficiency level. There's a whole bunch of things that go on. Um, Claim handlers are people too. We don't like being abused. I know that I've always talked to people in a very calm manner. I've tried to explain what is going on. Um, Usually there are a few common things that make people upset. When I tell them that the other person in the claimant, is claiming an injury, they tend to get very upset at me. In all claims, there's a possibility of injuries. It's just something that happens. Another point is that makes people angry is when you tell them that they don't have rental coverage, and they're going through their own insurance and they want to get a rental car. Either they don't have rental coverage, or they have an idea that because they have rental coverage, it should pay for the entire rental car experience, and that's just not true. Usually, rental coverage is a percentage. It's not meant to cover the entire rental experience. It's only for a specified amount of days. These are things that a person should take a look at their insurance policy and decide what they can financially afford, if they have a second car to use, all those kind of things. Another point is that when we say that you have a $2,000 deductible, they say, well, I can't pay that. And I'm like, well, this is on your policy. You're at fault for the accident. When you got the policy, everybody needs to look at their policy and decide what they can afford. I've heard people get angry because they don't have coverage. They didn't pay their bill, or they're under so-and-so's insurance and they didn't pay their bill. There's no coverage, or they only have liability coverage. One of the things you frequently hear is, but I have full coverage. Well, full coverage isn't a legal term. So if you have liability, that covers the other person's vehicle and their bodily injuries, not yours. And if you do have comp and collision, you have a deductible, and we all have to pay premiums. So I can understand that people are surprised if it's not their policy, but generally insurance companies, standard insurance companies, will be sending out several letters, at least 30 days in advance of a premium coming due. So it's not a surprise that the coverage is not good. So you have to take in consideration that. My advice is to always be respectful. Write down your questions that you have about your policy or that you have about the claim on the initial contact, and just understand that's a process. There's an investigation that happens. It could go faster, it could go slower. And if you're claiming going through somebody else's insurance, then you have to realize that you don't pay premiums to that company. Basically, you're going through us to get us to pay for your damages. There's going to be an investigation. We may not cover all the things that you want us to cover or that you feel that we should. So there's a lot that goes into a grumpy claim handler. Usually when I've talked to grumpy claim handlers myself, you just, it's just part of the job. You just be respectful. You give people a chance to speak. You understand what they're saying. You ask questions, and then you just move forward. So Okay, I hope this helps.